Now, hundreds of thousands of revellers will descend on Sydney this weekend to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Mardi Gras.
Robyn Kennedy was just 24 when she first marched up Oxford Street before the peaceful protest was violently shut down by police. Our reporter Mark Reddie caught up with her at the historic Stonewall Hotel.
We started the day with a morning march through the city streets to recognise International Gay Solidarity Day. But we also decided to stage a street party that night, which is now known as the first Mardi Gras. There was no internet then, so the word went out through phone trees and posters and that sort of thing. Several hundred people turned up in fancy dress. Not the women, of course, we never wore fancy dress, but the boys did. And everything was going well. We were having a good time, the music was playing, and then we were ambushed by police in what seemed a very systematic, organised attack. Because we had a permit, people were not very happy about being told they had to stop the march. It was pretty brutal. So, dragging people along by their hair, kicking them to the ground, throwing them in the paddy wagons. I think the different thing about that night for us was fighting back, exactly the same as Stonewall, the Stonewall riot. So, that night quickly became known as our Stonewall, as well as the first Mardi Gras.
Very different scenes to what we see in Mardi Gras now, where we see scenes of jubilation.
Yeah.
How has Mardi Gras evolved over the last 4 decades?
In 78, male homosexuality was still illegal. That wasn't legalised till 1984. Homosexual people could legally be discriminated against in terms of jobs, education, a whole range of things. So the focus really for the first probably 10 years was very political. Now, of course, it's very much a celebration, which is great.
Has the Mardi Gras meaning lost a bit of definition, do you think, amongst younger generations?
I think younger generations are not aware of our history at all.
Should it be taught in schools?
I think that would be great, actually, if it was taught in schools, because I think, like any social movement, our history informs our present, which informs our future.
Same-sex marriage was legalised last year. Do you think that maybe that helped younger people know more about the history of Mardi Gras?
It's great that same-sex marriage was legalised, but I'm not sure it really did make them aware of the fact that there were a lot more barriers previously. That was almost a frivolous thing in a way compared to some of the basic human rights that were denied decades ago.
What are some of the other battles then for Australia's LGBTI community going forward?
Aged care facilities are not necessarily oriented towards our community, so I think that is a problem that we need to think about. And I think also there's still a lot of discrimination and bullying that happens in schools, for example. We know young kids are still committing suicide as a result of that. We know in country areas people still feel very isolated and feel they're not able to be themselves. I think the advances in terms of HIV/AIDS has been fantastic because our community was devastated during the 80s. So the fact that now that there are very effective medications available is great. So there's still a lot, I think, to be done in creating the kind of community that embraces all its members.
What will this Mardi Gras mean to you, and also what will it mean to your community of 78ers?
It's really only in recent years that the 78ers, the role of the 78ers has become better known. There is a more educated crowd, I suppose. So they know who we are. And this year we'll see the largest group of 78ers in many years as they've travelled from all over Australia to get here.
Robyn Kennedy, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras, Mark.